Testing. Test. Yeah, no, this will make it. You can hear me saying. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our first generation family orientation live Q&A. I don't know if we've ever been this live on YouTube before, but welcome if you're watching from YouTube on the First Generation Comments YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do us a favor, smash that like button, subscribe to First Generation Comments here on YouTube, and click that notification bell so you make sure you never miss an upload. And thank you all for joining us. We're live here from the Blackstone Launchpad here at UT Dallas. We've got amazing first generation families here with us today, and we're so happy that you are joining with us. So we're going to dedicate this time to answer any questions that you may have for any of our first generation student supporters here. You may have seen them appear in our first generation family orientation video. We also have links to other longer videos where we go much more in depth. By the way, the First Generation Family Orientation premiere event that just ended is available on demand. I'm aging myself with on demand. It's available for you to watch anytime. There are a series of QR codes that appear throughout the video. You can pause and scan those at any time. You can watch First Generation Family Orientation 2022 at any time. So with that in mind, I'm going to go watch over the live chat for questions coming in. I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Courtney Mccain, and she will introduce our lovely panelists here, and then we'll just get started. Thank you all for joining us. If any of the audience members has a question, feel free to raise your hand, and we will be happy to assist you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Derek. We'll start with allowing our panelists to introduce themselves to you all, share if they were first generation themselves, share a little bit about their role here at UT Dallas. Go ahead, Nicolette.
All right, thank you. I'm Nicolette Johnson. I joined UTD back in November, so almost a year, coming up here soon. And I am director of the University Career Center. And in that center, we have a variety of things that we help students with. Career exploration, so if they think, I don't know what I want to do yet, we will help with that, including assessments and all of those kinds of good things. We also help with career prep. So if you need help with your resume or interviewing or LinkedIn or any of those aspects, we help with that as well. Student employment. So if you decide I want a job on campus during my time at UTD, we actually, that is housed in the Career Center as well. So a little bit, pretty much anything and everything that has to do with careers, whether it's and jobs, the Career Center is a place to come for sure.
Hi everyone, my name is Julie Jensen. I work in the bursar's office here at UT Dallas. The bursar's office is the office that collects your tuition payments from financial aid or otherwise. We handle things like Easy Pay, so if you need to make a payment, or if you're to be receiving a refund, you will go to the bursar Easy Pay to set up your account. While you're setting up your account there, you may want to add a parent. We also handle scholarships coming in, and we actually will post those to your account. So if you have questions about payments due, payment deadlines, refunds that you're expecting, scholarships that you're expecting to be on your account, you can give the bursar's office a call or email, and one of us will be very happy to help you, and I will supply the number and email for that at the end if you all need it. And again, my name is Julie Jensen, bursar's office here, okay?
My name is Julie as well, Julie Hayworth, and I'm a faculty member. I work in the School of Management, the Jindal School of Management. I teach classes, and I'm also the program director for the undergrad marketing program. So if I have any marketing majors, then come see me. But anyway, I'm really excited for you all. Just congratulations to all the students that are here, and congratulations to all the families. You've done a wonderful job, and you've made a wonderful decision, and we can't wait to help your student along the way.
Hello, my name is Sarah Dorsey. I'm one of the directors in the Office of Financial Aid. We are the people that give you the money that you give to Julie's team. We also monitor scholarships, so any incoming scholarships, those payments will actually come into our office. We'll get them posted so the bursar office can get that money to you. I speak Spanish. We have at least one or two others in the office that speak Spanish. If you need if you have anybody that needs help with that, you can call, you can come in, you can make an appointment, you can email us, and there will always be somebody available to speak with any of you. So now at least you know me, and I'll pass it on.
Hi everybody, my name is Alejandra Gutierrez, and I am an academic advisor for the major of Arts, Technology, and Emerging Communication. I also speak Spanish. Thank you. So if you guys have any questions about, careers, majors, anything like that, I can go ahead and assist with that.
Good afternoon, everyone. Buenas tardes. My name is Raul Hinojosa. I am the Assistant Vice President for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion here at UT Dallas, and it's really exciting to see you and to welcome you to campus. We're excited to hear your questions and to see you soon. If you'll indulge me, we've said a couple things that we speak Spanish, but I'll just say real quick something in Spanish, if that's okay. So, buenas tardes a todos los papás. Quería tomar un momento para darle la bienvenida a UT Dallas. Estamos muy orgullosos que están aquí con nosotros. Aquí nosotros, varios de nosotros hablamos español y aquí estamos para contestar sus preguntas o ayudarles ahorita en el momento que tengamos preguntas o en privado después de la reunión. Okay? Gracias. Welcome.
Perfect. Thank you, Raul. And I'm probably just going to yell so we don't have to deal with this too much, but another VIP panelist has joined us today. This is a current first-generation student here at UT Dallas, Joshua Jernigan. He's a Jindal Young Scholar in the Jindal School of Management in Julie's school. He also participates in a program called the Undergraduate Success Scholars. We have a couple of those students in the audience with us today too, and he can answer any questions that you might have about his experience, about the role of families in his experience, and really anything else about navigating UT Dallas in general. But when we were preparing for this event, we asked you all for your questions. A lot of the questions were about scholarships here at UT Dallas. And so I will turn it over to Sarah about if you're a new student at UT Dallas, maybe you didn't qualify for a scholarship upon entry, or maybe you don't have any as of right now. How do you obtain scholarships? What's the application process look like, and when does that occur at UT Dallas?
So at UT Dallas, most of the scholarships are closed for starting this fall. So we want to just put that out there so everybody knows. Every once in a while, though, one will crop up. My suggestion is to check the UT Dallas scholarship listing website maybe once a month and just check it out. Just see if anything pops up. If we see something unexpected, we'll post it on the financial aid website as well. But it's just a good habit to have. Just take a peek. Most of our general scholarships open up in early February, and they're open for about a month and a half, so not very long. So the other thing I would recommend is if you have a few minutes every once in a while, browse through that listing, because the scholarships will be there, you just won't be able to apply. But then you can see what the requirements are. What do I need to do to get ready to apply for this scholarship in February? And there will be many. Some are larger amounts, and some are, just $1,000. But every little bit helps to contribute towards either your tuition or getting books or anything you need. The other thing you need to know about scholarships is they are competitive. You are here for a reason. It's because you are an excellent student. But guess what? You're not the only one anymore. You're not the top of one class. You're here with a lot of students who have been at the top of their class. Joshua's one of them. His name comes through my office. You know why? Because he's a scholarship student. He's getting money in to help pay for school. And so It's not because he's handsome, although that may be the case, but he's smart and he studies and he's getting the money. And so these are the things that you have to pay attention to. What do I need to do to make sure that I am the very best I can possibly be? And then if there's an application that you have to complete, make sure it's complete. If there's an essay, make sure it's a good essay, have somebody else read it. Scholarship readers like to read this. That essay is the only way they're going to know sort of who you are, so you have to tell them, this is my story. Is there something impactful in your life? How, if you get this scholarship, how do you plan on paying it forward? Those are the kinds of things that they like to read. The applications need to be complete. Don't turn in something half done because it will not be reviewed. And try not to wait till the deadline. Many people do, and as long as you get it in, it's okay. But try to be prepared. Have a calendar if you need to. Say, I need to get this done on this date and this done by this date, just to make sure that you know what you need to do and by when you need to do it. I don't know if there are other.
No, that's really great, Sarah, because I think something, it can be discouraging to go to that long scholarship listing, right? There's a lot of eligibility criteria and all the deadlines, and you do have to refresh and set an alert on your phone to see when they're open and be aware when they close as well. But I really liked your tip to write down like the average GPA cutoffs, right? Because some are 3.0, some are 3.5, and then you'll see others that will say, preference for students with financial need, right? And that's where, maybe if you are more vulnerable, willing to share your story about your family's, kind of financial situation in those essays, that could be really compelling, right, to someone. And we do have our Writing Center and the Student Success Center who will help you with writing strong essays, whether it be for scholarship applications, fellowship applications, undergraduate research programs, whatever it might be, they will help you with that. We do have a video of that on the First Generation Commons YouTube channel already, if you do need support for that. There is, Sarah, a lot of other questions that were sent in about financial aid too. And I know a lot of things that we tell students is that what you get right now in this first year is not your financial aid package for your whole career here at UT Dallas. So what you see right now might change over time. And so being aware of that process and maybe what also to do should something happen with your family's financial situation. Maybe a parent can no longer work, whether they retire, something happens, or experience maybe an extreme medical situation. We have heard it all. If you would share a little bit financially about that, and maybe Julie, if you could chime in about how the bursar can support students who would an unexpected hardship comes up.
So Courtney's right. So right now, if you have received a financial aid offer, that's pretty much it. That's how it stands. However, if there is a change in the family situation, when you completed either the FAFSA or the TASFA, the information you're entering is from 2020, I think it was. Okay. We're dealing in lots of years, so it's hard to remember sometimes. So, but if 2022 is different than 2020, if it's worse, right? If there's a change in the family situation, that is information that might be useful in changing a financial aid package. Now, I will say this. If you received an offer letter that says your expected family contribution is 0, it can't get any lower than that. So any change that happens in the family is not going to make that a negative number to allow, other aid. It's just not going to happen. But if it's a higher number and there is something significant happening in the family, even if you have a situation where I don't live with my parents, I live with my grandmother or my auntie, and something has happened, and that makes that causes a different dynamic in the family. Let us know. Just come and talk to us. All the information that you give us is confidential. We don't share it with anybody. But it's about you. And so just making sure that you get the best care possible. And just when you're talking about financial aid in general, I do this every day. I've been doing it for too long. Very, very long. I didn't used to have to color my hair every other week. Now I do. That's how long. This is new to you. This is not something that you are expected to learn. You're expected to, as the students, to go to school, go to class, learn that. Not necessarily this field. although you're welcome to, because we'd love to have you. But as you're learning, if you don't understand something, ask again. Ask until you understand. The answer may not always be the one that you like, but it's important for you to understand what you're looking at. Can we really afford to go to UTD? It doesn't look like we can. Maybe you can, and then let's figure out how to do it. So with Julie, and I'll give her the mic in a second, there's payment plans if necessary. There are different ways and different things that we can do to help you get through school. One of the things I always say is look for the free food. There's always a learning event or some party. It's a UTD party, so parents, don't worry, it doesn't mean it's a real party. There's always something that you can go and participate in, and you get not just free food, but you get to meet other people, other students. That's the other thing about scholarships I wanted to mention. You have professors, you have advisors, get to know them, because some of these scholarships will ask for letters of recommendation, and you want them, the person who's writing the recommendation to write it as someone who knows you, right? Like, I know this person, and they were not just great in my class, but they're a great mentor to their friends and so on. That is a recommendation that will hold. I don't know how the saying goes, but it will stand out, right, among the rest. And by the way, financial aid is hiring, so if you're interested and you want to talk to the Career Center, you can apply, and we absolutely are looking for help.
While Julie gets the mic, I'll emphasize something Sarah said is come talk to us. You'll hear that as a central theme throughout the day, right? The reason we were so excited to host you all in person is so that even if it's masked, you can see our smiling faces and know you have a personable, human, living, breathing person who's willing to talk to you and receptive to you. And I like the emphasis on building those relationships early for those letters of recommendation, because now you have how many different potential letters of rec standing right in front of you, right? You can get all of our business cards, and we will stay in touch with you as long as you want. That's not just lip service, that's real life. That's well correct. See, I give him crazy eyes, but that's real. And he can share his experience there. But Julie, would you like to share a little bit about the student experiences, an unexpected financial situation, and how we will support? They already saw Lisa did this on the recording, who's our student success liaison. She helps if I have a student who maybe can't make their next installment in full. We can set up something a little bit creative in the interim, right, while they're working to support them. And they're very, very helpful.
Yeah, Lisa is very helpful. I actually work with Lisa, and she's fabulous. And when we have a student that experiences some type of a financial hardship, our goal is to help you. Our goal is to keep you in class, and our goal is ultimately to get you to the graduation finish line. So my advice when it comes to trouble with making your payment or setting up a payment plan is call and communicate. If you don't call and communicate, something will eventually catch up to you, and you'll try to register for class and you won't be able to. And then you'll have built up an amount that you owe that has unfortunately become this huge mountain of money owed that it's very difficult to get that paid in full. So we do have payment plans. So let's say that the financial aid package that you received covers most but not all of your tuition for the fall semester coming up. You may not be able to make the payment in full of the amount that is still due. Again, after the financial aid, scholarships, loans, grants, any of that has posted. We have an installment plan to make those payments a little bit easier for you. It divides them into 4 payments. And again, if you have questions, you can call us about that. Payment plans are extremely easy to set up. On your Orion Student Center, you're going to look for Bursar, and you will see the Easy Pay. That's what we call it, and you'll see the option to set up an installment plan, or in some instances a short-term loan. One thing that Sarah did not mention that I want to mention is really important, and she probably didn't mention it for a reason, but when you go onto the financial aid page, you will find that you have a financial aid counselor based on your last name. And Sarah has a list of 4 fabulous financial aid counselors. So if you have something that they expressed, we have a financial hardship and suddenly we can't pay, you can send an email and just put attention to your counselor so that that's who you're telling your story to, and then they can come work with us, the bursar's office, and we can help solve that for you. We have a lot of different options. We try to be flexible, and again, most importantly, let us know, because we cannot help you if we do not know that you are having issues, okay? What you don't want is it to catch up to you, because the system will do that. It will lock your account so that you can't do certain things, and we do not want that to happen. We don't want those holds to show up, okay?
That's wonderful, Julie. And we do have a student emergency fund if you ever need anything like that. You can email us directly or use that graduation help desk email address that was cited in the presentation. The only other scholarship and financial aid questions that we received in advance were related to students, DACA students, and scholarships specific to first-generation students. So something that I do in my role here at UT Dallas is I do some fundraising. I try to get that money from rich alums, from private donors, from companies. And we got our first big one last year. My colleagues know because I was so excited. We went out and celebrated. It's an endowed scholarship, and we're going to keep hustling for that. So there are some first-gen specific scholarships, and the list of those will continue to grow. You can reach out to us for that. But Raul and I will work closely with students who are DACA, who are seeking scholarships specific to their situation. So if you have questions about that, we have resources that we can direct you to. We also have connections and students who interned at the Mexican consulate. So if you're dealing with legal services, whatever it might be, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. Okay, the next question that we have that we received in advance, I'm going to read for you all. As first-generation students attending college, we don't have many connections. You do now. And we mostly make it on our own. I know networking is really important for our future career. Yes, I love this person. When I say networking, students like Joshua, sometimes they're like, ew, you sound so old. Right, I know, see, you said it's true. That's what he whispered to me. Does the school provide us opportunities to help us in networking while we are in college and after we graduate? Yes, our Office of Alumni Relations can support you in networking. They host several events in cities like New York, San Francisco, like all over, to keep the networking alive. But if Nicolette and Joshua, y'all can talk about that, and Julie maybe too, about JSON, because you also get connected to internships as part of her network. But yeah, Joshua, Nicolette.
All right, so I will get you started on how we can help you prepare to or understand what networking is and how to do it. And then I think he will probably be able to give you that real life application and his experience and how it's actually showed up here. So in terms of networking, we have lots and lots of resources to help you with that. So you should have by now, if not pretty soon, a handshake account, and we can always get that information out to you to make sure you can check to see that you do have it. You can always also Google UTD Career Center and then look for job search, and it'll tell you about your handshake account. But either way, once you get in handshake, you will have more workshops, virtual workshops, and all kinds of activity information there, probably more than you know what to do with. So in there, we will have virtual workshops on networking. So that's there for you as well. But then also, for really a one-on-one touch, we have career consultants who will talk to you one-on-one and give you tips about how to network. Or I often say, how to have conversations. Right? If you don't like the networking, just having conversations with people is really what networking is. So you can sign up via handshake. You can sign up for an in-person appointment, or if you feel like I don't really want to get out of, I barely want to get out of bed and roll over to my computer in my dorm, you can have a virtual appointment with a career consultant as well. So they're open. You can do either one you want there, and they can help coach you and give you in terms of how do I have a conversation with someone. Like if you're likely going to reach out to an alum and say, hey, my name is X and I'm from UTD. I'm alum of your same school, and I'm really fascinated by your career, and I'm curious about X, Y, and Z. Would you have 20 minutes to talk with me on Zoom about that? It's really as simple as that. But they'll help coach you through those kinds of conversations so that you can become good, understand what networking is, hopefully not feel that it's a slimy salesperson type of experience or people won't want to talk to you. Because a quick tip about networking or what I call having conversations is people love, and you'll find this for a long conversations. People would love to give you advice. They love to talk about their career path, how they got from one place to another. So you may think, I don't know if I want to talk to them. They may not, they may not think I'm, know enough or I have anything to give them. For a lot of people, just asking their advice gives them the warm fuzzy, and that's gift enough. So they will be happy to give you, probably tell you more than you'll say, can I have 20 minutes? And then an hour later, and then when I moved over to this organization. So know that those conversations should not be scary. We'll have lots of virtual information out there for you, and then you also can talk to a career consultant, whether that's in person or virtually, whichever one you want, to really coach you through it and give you tips there. So you have a lot of support there, and I do suggest in your first semester reaching out to a career consultant. You don't even have to know anything. You can say, you may know exactly what you want to do and say, this is what I want to do, and have a conversation. You may say, I have no idea, and they can give you all kinds of assessments, but don't want to veer too far off from networking or having those conversations. But know that we will help you get prepared so that it is not a scary experience. And I think he's going to give us his expertise about how that's really happened for him in applications. So go right ahead.
I'm gonna take my mask off. Hello everyone, my name is Joshua. I am a rising senior here, going on to got accepted last week into the grad program, so I'm gonna continue to stay here. But to me, like Courtney said, I do not like the word networking. It sounds too professional. To me, networking is really just conversing, talking. Everyone likes to talk. Everyone likes to talk about themselves, especially. So like she was saying, asking for advice, it does make us feel fuzzy. I love talking. Courtney literally asked me, was like, you want to help? I was like, yes, thank you. Just because I'm a people's person. I like the talking. Yeah. But I'm going to go on two routes for networking. One being the more student route, to where networking, or talking to people rather, is more of reaching out, being involved around campus and things like that, because trust and believe, there is 1,001 things you can do on this campus that you may not even think that you may be able to, as well as you're easily able to find someone that's also just like you, or not have a lot of interest in things that you like to do. Like for me, being a first-gen student, and I came in with another person from my high school, I was like, we're just gonna be together. I don't want to bother no one else and things like that. And I was kind of introverted, but now you see me, I'm not that introverted because Courtney found me, and yeah. But going to that very first-gen kickback, where I met people and was forced to talk to people and things like that, kind of opened me up a bit, and now I'm just this person who loves to talk and things like that. So I'll say definitely find places to go, as well as if don't even know where to go, trust and believe, just walk around campus in any building, especially our students, our SU, our student union. There's always a club to join, there's always places to have a party and things like that. Not those type of parties, because we are a college campus. But there's always people to meet. Also, don't be shy to talk to people in class, because that's also gonna be the big thing on how you grow your network. And now we're going to go to the more professional route of networking by me being a Jindal School of Management student. We have this thing where we're not forced to, but it helps us a lot. It's called LinkedIn. It's our professional Facebook, where you're basically able to find connections and build connections with people in the same industry as you, outside of industry, as well as top level people, as well as having a LinkedIn profile, keeping it updated, things like that, helps you gain jobs, internships, a whole lot of other things. Like I accepted an internship last summer through AT&T. It was a business-to-business sales internship, just because I had an updated LinkedIn and they saw how I was a part of the accounting and had a marketing minor. So that's the more professional route, as well as when you do meet with people. My number one tip is following up and making sure you keep those connections, simply because you never know when you may need them or you may ask them for something. Because as long as you have that connection, or they can remember who you are or how they remember you, then they'll definitely help you in the long run. Yeah.
That's perfect, Julia. Yes, please.
So I love all that they said, and it's also true, but I would also say that sometimes in your classes, there might be some assignments where you've got to find someone that has a job that you might be interested in, and so you need to interview them, and there you're making connections right there. And another great idea is to join a student organization, because the university has hundreds of organizations. And I'm reminded of something we did last year. One of our student orgs had a speed networking event with professionals that came in. So get involved in that. You'll meet lots of students, of course, but then you'll also want to bring in some experts, and then you can be the point person for that. And just keep adding to your network.
That's perfect. There's also a question, Nicolette, about when is the best time to apply for internships? And to Julie's point, another student asked, how many organizations should you get involved with? So after we talk about internships, the kind of when and the how, maybe Joshua, you can talk about student organizations, because I know when we have one-on-one meetings when students request to meet with us one-on-one, we'll talk through it. Normally we recommend one that's related to your academic discipline, like your major, right? Or your career interest, and then one that is purely personal, fun, your applet, okay? So especially in your first year, it's more of a quality versus quantity, because we want you to ultimately take leadership roles to fill out your resume later. But yeah, go ahead and let internships.
Sure. So the question is how soon? As soon as possible, as you can. But of course, academics first, of course, as well. But in terms of internships, there are a variety of things to think about, even in this first semester. So we have, which kind of helps with networking too. You can watch people network even if you don't want to fully engage. But we do have some career fairs called Career Expos career fairs that are coming up in September. So we actually have 3 of them. One is for all majors. That's the first day. The second day is STEM only, because we have a pretty big STEM demand from companies as well as students. And then the third one is a virtual as well. So those are internship and job fairs. So there are some companies that say, we're looking for people who are sophomores or juniors or seniors, but not all the job postings say that. And even if they did, you never know, right? You have a conversation with a company and they say, well, we just had this new, we just opened it up to graduating freshmen or people that finished their freshman year. So there is an opportunity for that career fair. If you go into Handshake, as I mentioned, if you're in Handshake, you can sign up for all kinds of workshops. That is also the place where we post about the career fair. So you can look and see which companies are coming. Again, where is it located? It's going to be located in the big gym. All those 2 in-person ones. But that is an opportunity. And also in Handshake, there are job postings. So internship postings as well as job postings. And there are 15,000 or more at any given point in Handshake as well. So multiple routes. The internship and job fair that's coming up. There are postings as well in Handshake that show internships, and that's a good place too, just to browse and say. And you can type in all kinds of search words like marketing or whatever your areas of interest are, and even to browse and say what are companies looking for. Because in Handshake, when they post a job, it's kind of like LinkedIn. They post what they're looking for. They do post what years in college they'll hire for. So that is a great opportunity for internships. But then, kind of back to those having conversations. One of the best ways to get an internship is to network with people who are working in the types of jobs that you're interested in, as well as the types of organizations that you are interested in. Because typically, there could be, maybe they haven't posted the job in Handshake. Sometimes they may have other core schools and say, I don't have core school, but they talk to you, go, I met this great UTD student, and even though they're not part of our core school, we want to hire them anyway because it is great. So using that is going to help you find internships, and also having those conversations with people will help you prepare for internships as well. Because ideally, you want to have, if you're interviewing, say you see a job in Handshake and you apply for it and they say, we want to interview you for it. Having had conversations with people who are doing similar work and people who are in those organizations will give you an advantage. Because then you can talk, because otherwise people are reading and go, I'm just going to say what was in the job description. But if you know the details of how that job works and what's important and what the day-to-day is like, or what the culture, organizational culture of that organization is, then you're going to be so much better in the interview than someone else that just read the job description and don't really have the flavor or the meat of it as well. So I would say use all of those strategies, even in September. Even if you feel like, I'm not ready to talk to companies, you can always go and observe too. Like, let me watch what other students, maybe they're juniors and seniors who are doing a great job of it. Like, what do they do? How do they approach them? What kind of questions are they asking? And how are they moving? So I feel like I'm always like, there are 10 million ways to do this, but lots of avenues. But I would say this, even though you're going to be busy in your first semester, at least start to explore, maybe go and get your LinkedIn account. I'm a big fan of LinkedIn, and your network is here. So when you see people here, you're already like, let's connect, right? It's going to build up your number of followers as well. But use that and start to, in a very minimum in your first year, or first semester especially, just start to explore. Say, I think I'm interested in this. Let me reach out to someone. It could even be a student. Maybe someone who's a sophomore or junior has worked in the kind of job that, internship that you want. Reach out to them. That should be your first step, is find those people who are in the school right now, students who have maybe had the internship that you want, or going into the type of job that you want in the future. And that should be your first contact, and they're not going to turn you down. Right? That's the lowest risk place to go, is let me go to students first. That's how I always recommend people. Go to students first, who are in the roles, internships, or companies you want. They can give you information. Then you could say, well, who else would you recommend that I learn more about X? And they may recommend even someone maybe who's graduated most recently. So I always think, go to students first who are in something, then recent graduates, and then you can kind of move on up from there. So those should be less scary, but lots of opportunities there. So when you're doing that too, that means kind of get your resume ready. So you need to call one of those, contact one of the career consultants and get it scheduled, because even to really engage in handshake, you'll need to have a resume that you're at least starting to craft as well. So those are the things I suggest. So don't wait. Sometimes I get even parents in orientation saying, okay, should they start getting a job before their senior year? It's like, no, let's do it now. So as early as possible to get that make sense.
Josh, we're going to talk about student organizations, and to emphasize some points Nicolette made, October is that magic month, September, October. We said about financial aid, right? It's weird to be submitting an application in October for the next year. We've got so much forward thinking. Internships are the same way. I can't tell you how many first generation students come to me in March and April about summer internships, and my heart just breaks into 1,000 tiny pieces, because a lot of companies hire and interview those interns in October and September. I didn't know that either until I started working at a university. I was like, oh my gosh. So just be thinking this fall, already thinking about summer, right? We had a couple of questions about the campus culture, and that's the UT Dallas campus culture too. We're very academic centric, and we're centric on the next stage of your life, right? We have our pre-professional advising to support you, get ready for medical school, law school, and we have a lot of events in first and two programs talking about graduate school, kind of demystifying that, what the closeout process looks like. So we're here to support you doing that forward-thinking process. Rapid fire with student org, and then we'll take audience questions, even though Alex, we do have one advising question that we'll get to real quick too.
All right, rapid fire for student boards. You're talking about the ones I'm in or the ones that I have?
What are your advice on taking?
Gotcha. So, all right, student boards, always be involved. That's the number one thing. You can do academic route for student organizations, or you can do, like you said, more fun, just depending on what you want or what you can do. For like student organizations that's dealing with academics, I am a part of National Association of Black Accountants, Undergrad Accounting Club, Undergrad Success Scholars, Gen Young Scholarship Program, and I just joined the Marketing Rise program. Those are all dealing with academics on what I'm majoring in, which is accounting and marketing. Then I also have, on the other side, on my fun side, I will be joining a fraternity, not from this campus though. Kappa Alpha Psi, I'm pledging graduate, so once I graduate this fall, that's more of me being a cool guy. Not really a cool guy, but a part of the ones that I was here on campus freshman year. I was a part, before COVID, I was a part of the Pokemon Go club. I'm kind of a nerd sometimes, and I love Pokemon. So, but like literally there's anything you can think of, trust me, believe there's a club that you can join or a student org that deals with it. Yeah.
That's
rapid fire.
Okay, Alex, what happens if a student needs to swap or drop a class after the semester starts? Thank you, Nicolette, and then Sarah after that. Advice on when and how to accept loans. Okay.
So add and drop a class, swap a class before or after census day? Did we say? Both? Okay. If it's before Census Day, that's probably the best one because we can still make changes to your schedule without affecting tuition. And, you know, if we just need to drop it all together, you can still get your money back. After Census Day is, Census Day is the 10th business day of the academic school year, semester. So for the fall, it's September 7th. Yeah, September 7th. So if you want to make any changes to your schedule, please do so before September 7th. That way your academic advisor can assist you with either adding or dropping or swapping classes. After Census Day, you can still drop classes, you can't add classes, okay? Now, the only thing with dropping classes is you will not get your money back at that point, okay? And it will show on your transcript that you dropped from a class because at that point we've already reported it to the state that you were enrolled. So we also have to tell the state, okay, well, they didn't fully complete the class either, okay? So just reach out to your advisor whenever you need to make any changes to your schedule, but just watch that census deadline for, you know, getting that reimbursement in regards to tuition.
And if your number of hours you're enrolled in changes and you receive need days to aid, be mindful that it could affect your financial aid.
Yes.
There was key too, when she talks about loans.
Go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah, so when considering whether you should drop a class or two or all of them even, because, you know, there are unexpected things that may happen and we don't want, you know, to think about it, but you want to be prepared just in case. If you are a financial aid recipient and are thinking about dropping a class, talk to one of the financial aid representatives first. Make sure that you have all the information you need before you drop the class, right? And so, am I going to owe money? Are you going to reduce my aid if I drop this class? If I drop it after Census Day, that becomes a withdrawal. It's a W, and it does show up on your transcript. How's that going to affect my financial aid? There is a limit to how many classes you can withdraw from without a penalty. So you want to keep an eye on that. You don't want to just, you know, we have seen students, and they're excellent students, straight A students, who say, I'm going to get a B in this class, so I'm going to withdraw from it because I want only A's. The problem is that if you keep doing that and you do too many withdrawals, you're going to get in trouble. If you're receiving financial aid, you're not going to get it. So you have to go through all sorts of, you know, jump through hoops to figure out how to get back in because now you've withdrawn from more classes than you're supposed to. So when you're considering the classes that you're taking, consider them carefully. Depend on your academic advisors. Make smart choices. If you don't think you can get up in the morning, don't get a 7 o'clock class. Get a night class. If you think, you know, you can't handle something at 7 at night, then don't take that class. Find a morning one. And so these are the kinds of things that you need to think about. So for accepting loans, of course, that's like the least favorite thing, right? We don't want loans if we don't have to use them. If you think that you can manage the costs for a while without accepting your loans right away, do that. In fact, that's what I recommend. And if you see me at some point later or before, you'll hear me say it over and over again. You know by this point what tuition is. You know if you're living at home on campus or somewhere else. You know if you're on campus, you got to pay a meal plan. So you know what those charges are. Okay, so these are my charges, and they're all per semester, so you don't have to pay for the whole year up front. I have this much financial aid, gift aid, whether it's grant or scholarships or whatnot. Maybe my tuition is covered, but not my room and board. Okay, so I have to pay for this. Do I have enough money? You know, does my family have enough saved or somewhere to be able to pay that without taking out a loan? If yes, then you're good. If not, maybe I don't have it right away. Maybe I need then to take an installment plan that I can pay. Maybe I owe $2,000 still, but I don't want to pay it right away. If I get in the installment plan, I can pay that in installments, in 4 installments, so it doesn't, you know, you don't get that hit all at once. And then you do the same thing the next semester. If you need the funds right away, then the time to accept your loans, usually you want to have it done by, when do classes begin, the 22nd? You want to have it done a week before. As a financial aid recipient, you are entitled to get an extended payment deadline. So what does that mean? Most people have to make payment before classes begin. If you are receiving financial aid, if you have an offer, if you have a scholarship, so either or both, a scholarship, you get an extended payment deadline. So actually your payment's not due until September 1st. Technically, you can wait that long. I don't like waiting to the last minute for school stuff. When I know, I owe somebody something, yeah, we like to wait, but maybe you don't have to do it today, but you want to try and get it done by the time classes begin. So you have to think about it, right? I'm going to just concentrate on my classes. So my suggestion is, if you know you need the loans, accept them at least a week before classes begin, preferably a little bit sooner. We're not going to disperse the money. We won't put the money in your account. If you accept everything today, nothing's going to hit that account. We're not releasing any money until around the time classes begin anyway. So when you're accepting a student loan, there's a multiple part process. The information's on the web, but you can call our office and we can walk you through it if you need to. Or again, you can email us and we'll send you the steps. Basically, you have to do a promissory note. That you only have to do once, and then it's good for the rest of your time at UTD, or 10 years, whichever comes first. You could be studying for a while. You could, grad school and PhD. I mean, reach for the top. And then you have to do what's called loan entrance counseling. I think that's a one shot. No, that's only one time too. And you have to accept your loans online. So if you do those 3 steps and you are in the classes that we anticipated you were going to be in, usually full time, then your funds should disperse. They'll go into your bursary account and pay whatever balance you have. If you have everything paid and you have a credit, that will be refunded to you. So it won't just sit there. Yeah. So yeah, you can adjust your loan amount, and on our front page, on the web page, there's a video that shows how you can accept your loans. And you can go in, you're going to hit accept, and then you'll be able to adjust the amount if you need to. Like maybe there's an offer of $5,000, but I only want $3,000. You can adjust it down and accept that. Also remember this, when you're accepting a loan, you're not accepting a loan just for one semester. These funds are split into 2 semesters. So if you say, oh, I only need $1,000, I'm just going to take $1,000, you're only going to see $500 or so, right? So make sure, if I need $1,000 for fall, then I need to accept $2,000. And guess what? If we are offering you $4,000 and you only take $2,000, in the spring, let's say, or even later in the fall, if you decide, I need some more, I need some of this back, you can just email us and say, can you increase my loan amount? And we'll put another offer out there and you do the same thing, just accept it.
That is really perfect. Thank you so much for that detail. So I think what we'll do to be respectful of both your time and the attendees in the live stream is we'll conclude, but allow you all who are here in person to come up and ask questions of our panelists if you're all comfortable with that for a little bit, especially students if you want to talk to Joshua about his experience here at UT Dallas. I think that would be lovely. But thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. If you have questions, Derek posted his email address, and we can, of course, route questions to our panelists if you didn't have a chance to ask them in the chat. Same thing for you all. You have our contact information on the handouts that you received today. There is also an evaluation on the back, a QR code to tell us about the event. But we do have some catering left, so please grab some catering before they come and eat the rest that's left over. But thank you all so much, and please come